You just like Shrek because you look
I do
like
like Shrek.
You look like it.
Yes. Wait. What? That's offensive.
What, to ogres?
I look like Shrek.
Sort of, kind of do. You have little...
How?
Your ears and your head.
That's offensive.
And your voice. And your bone structure.
No.
And your size. Pretty much everything about you screams Shrek.
Welcome to the Board Game Snobs Podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
And welcome back to Board Game Snobs, the podcast where we talk about board games and other things. Mainly board games, but sometimes other things. I'm Jerry, and my co-host,
Gabby. Hey.
the Nickelback of podcasters.
Why's that?
Just like...
I used to love Nickelback in the day.
You did?
Who didn't? If you're being honest with yourself, who didn't like Nickelback?
The first time I heard Nickelback, I was at a bowling alley.
Of course, that's
And
where they
played
belong.
That one song that was famous for that made them famous.
Which one?
You Remind Me. It's sad that I just rolled that off. It's like I just got this completely 15 years ago. Remember that song?
I did not remember their number one song.
Yeah, that was like the song that they
How's
wrote.
it go?
It's about how you remind me of something. And do not, we will not have another repeat of the Enya incidents.
You don't know.
We are not playing any Nickelback.
You don't know.
No, we're
I
not.
might.
We cannot play Nickelback. Not because I'm afraid of another injunction,
You don't know.
but I just don't want to hear any Nickelback.
How do you know? Okay. Nickelback is cheesy,
Yes.
but when they were popular, they were good.
The country was suffering when they were good. We needed a hero, and they were. I just referenced another.
Hero.
No, I was referencing Nickelback's song
Tina
"Hero."
Turner. I went classic.
I love Tina Turner.
Oh, you did.
Sweaty windows, steamy windows, steamy windows,
Huh?
steamy
What are you
windows.
talking about?
Yeah, you don't know
Tina
that song?
Turner? Steamy Windows? What are you talking
It might have
about?
been Whitney Houston.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I know what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about games that didn't steam my windows.
Hold on, though. Wait. Now, we got to finish this Nickelback thing.
No.
You've sent me down a wormhole. See, this is what happens. I get interested, and I start doing research. Nickelback, their top song on iTunes is Rockstar.
Which they are not.
Just like a paperback novel.
No.
I don't know why that lyric sticks out in
That's
my
terrible. Let me. Here's since today's podcast is about talking about
We're
games.
going to try and be professional this podcast.
Since this podcast is talking about games today that I did not quite like, that I found to be mediocre at BGG Spring 2018, it's very fitting that we talk about
Mediocre
Nickelback.
or even bad.
Yes, some were bad. Some were very bad. On a scale of like, let's say Nickelback, Bare Naked Ladies, the band,
Wait.
down to
Bare Naked Ladies? Welcome to the old apartment.
That's
good.
They're good for like
If I had $1 million.
they're good for like one CD, and
Those
after
are
that,
two good songs.
no, yeah. But after that, they just they wear on you. They wear on you.
I'll give you that.
So I'm talking about that level of irritation.
Wait. Now, instead of Bare Naked Ladies, let's go Smash Mouth.
They're coming to town here in about a month. That's pretty bad when you have to come to southeastern Oklahoma to
Choctaw Casino.
Choctaw Casino.
If you're touring the Choctaw Casinos,
you run into Bare Naked Ladies,
you
And
might be
Smash
towards the end of your hotness.
you're on the way down. You're on the way down. Oh,
that's
man,
sad.
That's mad.
That's where we live.
That's-
People come to visit where we live when things aren't going good.
I'll never forget. At the local casino that does the entertainment, which is I'm talking about our casino that's in a town of like 500 people. They had, I kid you not, my man Kevin Costner and his band.
What?
Did you know he had a band?
I did.
But he showed up, put on a great show, and then
did he?
next weekend, you know what they had? Midget wrestling.
I don't think you're supposed to say that.
That's what they advertised it up.
That's what they advertised?
Yes, it was the midget mixed martial arts. It was the MMA. It was the Man. Yeah, it was bad.
That's
And
so wrong.
People down here were not offended by it.
No.
And that's what got me. It was terrible.
We're not in a place that's super PC.
Oh, it was bad. And that made me very sad to realize that here's Kevin Costner, who's back on television apparently, with his band. He's playing with his band. Southeastern Oklahoma, the place where you come to die.
The place where bands come to die.
I wish I had Smash Mouth tickets.
Again, I'll be honest. Back in the day, I was a Smash Mouth fan.
You just like Shrek because you
I
look
do like
him.
Shrek.
You look like it.
Yes. Wait. What? That's offensive.
What, to ogres?
I look like Shrek.
Sort of, kind of do. You have your ears and your head.
That's offensive.
And your voice. And your bone structure.
No.
And your size. Pretty much everything about you screams Shrek.
I meant to... Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
I'm
referencing...
No. We've already talked too much. We have to get into board gaming.
All right, board games. I forgot that's what we're about.
Yes.
And we're supposed to be snobbish even.
We are snobbish. And I'm going to start off by slaying a sacred cow of snobbishness.
All right, let's do it.
At a game for which many people have heard about. It's getting a lot of love. Entitled Heaven and Ale.
Heard of it.
Heard of it? Okay.
Was interested. Told you to play it at BGG Spring.
Yes, and it was the hotness that they had set up there.
Oh, hotness.
Yes. And so basically someone teaches you the game. You sit down, they show you how to play it, and oh man, it's themeless. As themeless as a Euro can get, and then a step further. You have your own player board with this field that has two sides to it.
Question.
Yes.
How many do you have that we're going to discuss?
Several. As many as I can fit in within 35 minutes.
Okay, go ahead.
Why?
35. Let's do 40.
40?
I like 40 minutes.
Going 40 minutes?
I like 40 minutes. Because, when I listen to podcasts, 30 minutes is kind of short. An hour can be a little long.
45 minutes?
45 minutes.
Okay.
Now, let's do it.
Let's see. I'll pace myself. Heaven and Ale.
Post-editing, this needs to be 45 minutes.
Oh, post-editing.
So I'll put some Nickelback in here.
Heaven and Ale was a fail. Like my rhyme?
It's right on time.
Thank you. First off, little bitty pieces everywhere. You have a player board that has light and dark side of the field for which you're supposed to go around this track.
Which for you, it did not appeal?
It did not appeal.
Okay.
That you're just moving around this track, picking up pieces, putting them on your board. That's got these little hexagonal pieces that you put there, and driving up tracks on your player board. You have 5 or 6 tracks, and it does the old school way of scoring to where your scoring at the end closes up, like your lowest thing and your highest. You don't score your highest points; you score your lowest point type thing. So you're forced to run things up this track. Anyways, it's been a while since I played it because that was in May, and I must say that I do not understand why this game keeps getting the love that it has. I think it's because of the designer being very famous.
Who's the designer?
I think it was Spitzer, Alexander Spitzer, wasn't it? Or maybe it been Kramer. Let me look it up.
I don't think it's Pfister.
Hang on.
Pfister puts out nothing but hits.
Pfister?
Heaven and Ale is it was. I don't think it's all the go right at this moment.
No, I still see people playing it. It is Kiesling, Michael Kiesling. So it is.
Oh, never heard of him.
Maybe Kiesling and Kramer. Yeah, you've played them games. Anyways, Heaven and Ale was something. I like Euro games. I enjoy Euro games. This was just tracks and pieces.
What does the heaven have to do with anything?
You're monks, and you're supposed to be making beer. And that was immediately because I love Friar Tuck.
Right.
And I really love beer. Love my fat tire. But it just didn't appeal to me at all. And matter of fact, I'm just coming out and say it. Just don't.
You have yet to play a game making beer that you like.
Didn't like Brewcasters either. It's just, it's just not that great.
They can't match up to viticulture.
That was my first fail of the con.
BGG. Fail number one.
Fail number one.
Heaven and Hell.
Fail number two.
Are you going to do these in order of that you played them there at the con, or just what you remembered to write down?
What I remembered to write down, but Heaven and Hell was the most disappointing one. By far. The second most disappointing one to me was a game called...
So we're going to do this in order of...
Reverse order.
Most
I start off with number one because...
Okay.
I start off with number one because of the extra Haneho.
Heaven and Hell, you were really thinking was going to be good. You thought it was this. You've heard a lot about it.
I was fired
up. And it just bombed big time.
Fired up, and it wasn't any good.
So this next game didn't quite bomb as big for you.
It didn't quite bomb, but this next one was... okay. Altiplano.
Oh,
the one with
really? See, I would put Altiplano number one because, like, we liked Orleans. Well, we loved Orleans when it first came out. We liked Orleans more. We kept playing. We kind of like Orleans now.
Okay, and
Altiplano was supposed to fix it.
Altiplano is why I enjoy Orleans, however you pronounce it.
Orleans.
I just don't. It's a bag builder. It's a decent game. It used to be higher up, but it's gotten old to me. But anyways, I'm looking forward to playing it.
We have yet to play it with the expansion.
The expansion. To fix that. I would like to play it with the expansion and give my opinion on it. Altiplano, I was excited because everybody kept saying it fixes Orleans. It's a better game. It's a better game. No. Yeah, no. I was shocked by how much I disliked this game.
Really?
It adds a spatial element to Orleans. Like you have these little boards, like individual islands that you set out, and you're bouncing around from here to here and doing these things, and you're getting this and you're getting that. Orleans was easy for me to understand and to see and to say, oh, I got this board here where I'm going out and transporting goods. I got this where I'm working on my player board. I got this that I'm improving the city. Altiplano seemed like they just took everything that was bad about Orleans and expanded it. And no.
What does that even mean? Altiplano.
It has something to do with llamas. I don't know.
Altiplano has something to do with llamas?
I don't know. Google that.
I'm Googling it right now.
Google that.
The Altiplano is a plateau or Bolivian plateau in west central South America is the area where the Andes are the widest.
Well,
I guess that's where llamas live.
This game was certainly the dullest.
But not as dull as Heaven and Hell.
No, Heaven and Hell I despise. Altiplano, if someone came to me and said, you're wrong, we're going to play this game right now and I'm going to explain it to you and I'm going to show you, because I understood it. It's just, I just wasn't seeing I didn't see what made it good. If somebody wanted to sit down with Altiplano and try to talk me out of it, I'll be fine.
So are you raising llamas?
No.
What does the first player llama deal have to do with anything?
There's llamas there. There's llamas. And it was just an easy character. It was an easy theme to put on there. Put a llama on the deal. So that was my number 2 that was particularly...
That is disappointing.
My number 3 disappointment was one that I have been wanting to play for a while, wanting to get my hands on. The Captain is Dead.
Oh.
That one. I thought that was... I love the art on it. Yeah. I love the little board. The Captain is Dead is a co-op. I despise co-ops.
Yes.
But I like the idea of everybody being a crew member on the Enterprise, the cheap Enterprise, the generic Enterprise, and you're bouncing around trying to fix stuff and things are showing. It was just Pandemic where aliens would spot up in this one spot here and you'd run over there and kill them while this person's over here using cars.
So more like the Orville.
The Orville? Is that a game? No, that's that TV show. Is that still on television?
Yes. Okay. Interesting fact.
Okay, tell me.
Not a fact. Pure opinion.
Okay, go ahead.
I enjoy... Okay, The Orville by Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah. Which I've not seen. Don't spoil it.
Came out in the same year that they did a reboot Star Trek Discovery.
Which I've also not seen. Waiting for the DVD.
Much darker Star Trek. All this stuff. Okay, instead of doing a Star Trek post Next Generation where they have wide open and they can make it whatever they want.
Right.
They decided to reboot a bunch of stuff.
That's what you do this time.
They rebooted a bunch of... So they set it in this era. They make the Klingons look completely different. Blah, blah, blah. Lots of people didn't like it. I guess I really didn't like it because I had a chance to watch it. I probably watched maybe the 6 episodes. The Orville. Seth MacFarlane it was supposed to be like funny, but also a sci-fi show, like because it's like a what do you call it? It's like an homage to Star Trek.
Right, it's making fun of it.
The first episode was atrocious. Their humor is atrocious. Seth MacFarlane is a good writer. I don't really care for his acting that much.
He looks weird. His face looks featureless.
Anyway.
I hope he's not a listener.
So I think we're safe.
I think we're safe.
So the first 3 episodes, iffy.
Yeah.
From about the 4th or 5th episode on, it is the Star Trek of our generation.
What?
It is a solid show with some interesting themes, and it is surprising. Yes, there's some terrible jokes in there. And actually, the next season, they've made a season 2, or they're making a season 2. And they're supposed to do away with most of the humor, which the humor was the low point. Because I don't know why he can write funny, but whatever he's in is not funny. And they made like these real like low-hanging fruit jokes that are just super cheesy.
Kind of like playing Nickelback on your podcast. Go ahead.
That's classic.
Go ahead.
Don't let me do it again.
No, go ahead.
And then
Go ahead.
so I got it, watched it. I like the Orville.
You like the Orville?
Almost better than the Star Trek Discovery because it's brighter, it's more chipper, it's more in the spirit of Star Trek.
Now, this next game,
Oh.
I was very disappointed
Back
in.
to business.
It's about the most boring thing that any person can ever engage in.
Wait, let me guess. The most boring thing anyone could ever engage in.
Many people have this as a hobby.
Conversation.
Nope. That's not a hobby.
Well, you threw that in as I was guessing.
Okay.
The most boring thing it's a hobby, golf.
Oh, no, we love golf.
I don't know, but most people think it's
No.
boring.
Boringer than golf.
Crossword puzzles.
Oh, worse than that.
Oh, Sudoku.
This requires you to be outside.
Oh, croquet. Badminton.
Look, fishing.
Oh, what?
I hate fishing.
I like fishing.
I grew up fishing.
As long as I'm catching fish. When
Nope.
you're not catching fish, it is boring.
All right. Coldwater Crown.
You're supposed to just enjoy the moment. It's a nice reset. When you're in nature.
Coldwater Crown, which has a Kickstarter out with an expansion coming out. I heard everybody brag about this game.
Okay.
It has a mechanic in it that you have this board. The board's like 4 different sections, and there's a bunch of fish in each little section. You reach your hand into this bag and pull out what's supposed to be bait, but it's just these different colored jewels that you put in your tackle box.
So you think you're reaching in for bait and pulled out jewels?
the jewels are supposed to be bait?
That's a nice surprise.
I know. Oh, I found this. I went crappie fishing and found this diamond.
Found this jewel.
But
Here's an emerald for you.
You're putting this colored rocks in your tackle box.
Makes no sense.
Okay, but stay with me now.
Okay, I'm trying.
The mechanic of casting your rod and bringing it back is done by this little this cylinder that has a 1 on top and a 2 on the bottom. So you place it out there on a 1,
on top,
and then you go and find another cylinder that's been put out there, and you pick it up. So it's like cast and bring it back. But when you bring it back, you flip it over to a 2.
Okay.
So when you put out a 1, it does something different. But when you put out a 2, it does something different. And so it's like you're casting your rod, which is kind of interesting, but very irritating because I played this with Enrique, who would never flip over his token when he would bring it back. He would never flip his rod right. Anyways, and he's never been fishing.
No, he doesn't know what fishing is.
And you basically empty
This
out.
is for hats.
You empty out your bait in your tackle box, and the last little jewel that comes out of your tackle box, whichever section of the tackle box it's in, that's the part of the lake. And whichever bait you pull out, that's the fish you get.
Is it fishing? It's a fishing game. Why are there jewels in it?
It's supposed to be bait, but
that's stupid.
Well, that's the different colorful tackle that you use.
that would ruin the thematicness of it.
Well, it's like instead of putting like jigs and lures and
jig, what are you talking about?
You know, like the little. That's what they call them. They have different types of bait. Like worms, you don't know. You're sitting here going, "I love fishing." You're gesticulating. I'm a master fisherman. And I say
I did not say master.
Minnows, and you're like, I enjoy fishing. Know. You enjoy fishing. What do you fish with?
I put a worm on a hook and I throw it out in the water.
You never put a worm on a hook.
I have too.
What kind of worm?
Worms. Earthworms.
Earthworms?
Yes.
Oh, good point. I
went to Walmart and got me some earthworms.
Every worm is an earthworm. There are no
that's
Martian
true.
worms.
What kind of worms did you expect me to say?
I use a rattle trap when I went
You're
fishing
saying words I
when
don't
I was
understand.
10 years old.
What's our rattle trap?
It's a trap that rattles.
Like a maraca on there?
Yes. It's a little minnow that has a thing on it that shakes.
The tail of a rattlesnake? I don't know what you're talking about. That makes no
Coldwater
sense.
Crown doesn't make any
I'm
sense.
angry at the premise.
Okay.
You reach in a bag of bait, pulled out jewels. That's stupid.
It was very...
So did you like it or not?
Oh, no.
Well, then. It doesn't matter.
I wish, though...
Did the theme throw you off? Like, you're like, I should be reaching
played
in for
it twice,
worms.
and this was the
And I
game
pulled out an
that I
emerald.
was after to play. Like, I heard so much about it. It and Heaven and Hell, I wanted to play so bad. I played Coldwater Crown. It was very easy to learn. It's like so difficult to figure out which fish to plot ahead enough that you get
What
this
fish
particular
likes rubies? That's probably the hard part to figure out.
Tuna.
Tuna likes rubies.
The chicken.
You can tuna people, but can you tuna fish?
Low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit, my friend.
Just like
Speaking of
paper.
fruit, now this game was not bad.
Citrus.
Citrus.
That's a game.
No, this is no.
Oh.
This is
It's a game I want to play, FYI.
this game you told me I had to play.
Oh, and you listened to me?
Yes.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, and me and Enrique played this game, and I said it's a real-time game, and I said
Oh, Kitchen Rush.
Kitchen Rush. I said this is not a bad game, but I don't want to play this.
Why?
And, well, I have a thing with real-time games. I just don't really like them.
I do.
But this was I will say this.
They create stress, which I enjoy.
This is probably the best real-time game I've played in a long time.
Well, now you're confusing me. Because this is a game you don't like.
I don't like it, but
But it's the best real-time game you've played.
Well, it's kind of...
And you have played... What's Jeff Engelstein's game? Dice Space Cadets,
Space
whatever.
Cadets and all these other real-time games.
And I enjoyed that game. But it was kind of complicated.
Kitchen Rush is the best real-time game I've played in a while. But that's like saying...
Wait, hold on. What was that game we played that was sent to us as a review copy?
Paramedic.
Paramedic's Clear.
I like that. I like Paramedic Clear.
Like Kitchen Rush better than that?
Yes, I do.
But yet it's on your worst of BGG.
Well, it's not. It's on my meh. It's gone up.
Oh,
It's gone up.
okay.
So I played it and thought, I don't know if I could recommend it, but it was... It had this little neat... Okay.
I feel like you're changing your mind
no.
as you speak.
It was... Okay, I hate to use this term, but it was cute. It was cutesy. And I don't like cute things.
Why do you not like cute?
But I like this.
You don't like puppies?
It had... No.
You don't like kittens?
No.
Who hurt you? Why do you not like
A cat and a dog.
a cat riding a dog?
Yes. It's the most serious...
Puss in Boots come up and stabbed you.
So there was this... So you have these little meeples of fruit and chicken and...
It's adorable.
And so... But what the best thing is that you have different size plates.
Okay.
And you have these plates. And so when you flip over these order cards and you have a timer and it says you got X amount of minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. And your workers are these little sand hourglass things that when you set them down as a worker in this spot,
Probably minute timers.
you can't pick them back up until they're empty.
Okay.
So you got two workers or whatever. So I'll send this guy to the kitchen to be cooking this. I'll send this guy to here to get stuff from there, and you have to leave them until you get done. But you're putting the little meeple food onto the little plates, and you're trying to order stuff, and you're trying to talk with Enrique, and Enrique has no concept of food because Enrique literally stuck his hand in a toaster like 6 months ago, and he doesn't understand.
Toast.
Yes, he does. That's what we call him. Remember that? We called him Toast for the longest time. Yeah.
His name was Toast.
He stuck his hand in a
You
toaster.
get that, Joji? He stuck his hand in a toaster.
The bread didn't come up.
But
so
you
he
want him on our
stuck-
podcast.
He stuck his hand in a toaster, and I called him Toast for like 6 months. He's in my phone as Toast. Anyways, so I'm yelling at Enrique, trying to get him to understand, like faulty towers, like Manuel. You have to get this over here. And then at the end, it's like you look at the orders and you see what you messed up, what you did right, and it was interesting. I would play it again, but
So why is it on this list?
because it just did not blow me away. So it didn't make the blow away list. But it was all right. It was all right. Now, the rest of these games are games that I would play again.
Okay.
And that
Go ahead.
what?
No. Well, you finish what you're going to say.
Games that I would play again, but I did not rush out and buy them. They did not blow me away. They're ones that I am riding the fence on.
Well, I was going to say, when you told me about these games, they seem to be games you enjoyed, but those around you weren't that keen on.
There were some that we're not keen on.
AKA Bubba, Enrique.
Yeah. So, Snowdonia, which currently has a very fancy Kickstarter, I think, which is just ended.
Snowdonia's, yeah, that's like
for a deluxe version.
Lots of people like that game.
I played it. I think the problem was it got talked up so much in my mind that it was like the greatest Euro of all times, and people just loved it. It just didn't catch me. But I realized that as I was playing it.
Who made that game?
It's the people who did Flashpoint. I don't know the designer.
Oh.
Indie games, I believe. That when I was playing it, I realized I'm tired. This was like the last game of the day I played, and I thought, I'm not going to be harsh on this game because right now I know I'm just tired. It did blow me away. Its mechanics were not something that was just great to me. There was a lot of little fiddly bits to it, and I just put it down of like, I made a note going, don't hold it against it, play it again. But it did not blow me away.
What is the game? It's Martin Wallace. For some reason, Snowdonia is triggering this in me, or A Few Acres of Snow. But it's supposed to be that game, but different. But it's Martin Wallace. You and Enrique played.
Oh, Mythotopia.
Mythotopia. We've never played that.
I mean, Enrique played it numerous times. I love Mythotopia.
How come we've never played it?
It's because...
Do you have it?
Yeah, I have it.
Why haven't we played it?
Well, because we have so many other games.
It's a battle game, right?
It's a battle game, but it's also... Is it
two-player?
Yes, but it's deck building.
Well, I mean, you liked it.
I know.
I trust your opinion.
Well, we'll play it. We'll play it, and you have to get your opinion on it.
Okay.
But it's Martin Wallace. Anyway, Snowdonia, play it again. Another game that I'll have to play
More
again.
like No-Donia.
The next one, another Euro, Lignum.
Oh.
I disliked Lignum, the wood chopping game, because that's what it is. You're taking your workers out into the woods to chop wood, and then floating the wood down the river.
Disliked it.
The first part of it, where you're moving around this track, picking up stuff. It's like you're just walking around the track, picking up, I found a saw. I hired a worker. I didn't think that was thematic. I didn't enjoy that. Everybody did pretty much the same thing. If you're the first person to jump ahead, you can't go back. You're going to go forward on this track. The first person in the woods, you get a advantage.
Lignum is Latin for wood.
Thank you, Google.
I did not know that.
There was some fiddly mechanics with it, but it made sense, if that makes sense.
You said mechanics several times this podcast.
There was some fiddly rules to it.
Okay, there you go.
But it made sense, such as cutting up the wood and bringing it over here and feeding your people. It has to feed your people through the winter thing. It's one of those games that, again, when I played it, I realized I'm just going to have to give it another try. But, it did not blow me away. Now, this last game, I kind of liked it. It almost made my list.
Okay.
It's an area control game. Bubba kind of liked it. Enrique didn't like it.
Why didn't Enrique like it?
Because he lost it, because I beat him senseless.
He does. I've noticed with Enrique, he tends to like the games he wins and not like games he loses terribly at.
I know. This was called Viral. Which
Dice Tower Essential.
Who's the Dice Tower?
I don't know. We don't just... They who shall not be named. Just kidding. I love the Dice Tower.
I love you, Tom.
Speaking of which,
what?
Going back to... Okay, by the time this posts, we'll have posted the one that we posted last time.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Go ahead.
I found your video.
You did?
And I think I'm going to put it in the show links for the last round.
Why don't
if nobody clicks on it.
If
you're listening to this and haven't clicked on it, I'm going to put it in the show notes for last podcast because that's where we actually talk about it. Where Jerry is on the Dice Tower. It's Sam Healy's Thursday vlog of BGG 2016.
You could see me.
And Jerry Baker is in the first 30 seconds. That's you. Yeah. And Enrique is lurking about in his hat.
Yes, if you want to see Enrique and me, I forget, Enrique's wearing the not the fedora hat. What's the hat?
I don't know what.
What's
It's
called?
super small on his head, though.
He has his head is gigantic. He's there. If you'll notice,
He like grabs something from you, like
looks real
walks
weird.
around you,
Yes.
and then comes back and stands there awkwardly.
if you look closely at his left hand, you'll see the burnt marks from the toaster of that day where he stuck his hand in the toaster. Oh, yes, you can see
Yes.
me and Enrique live on the Dice Tower.
I'm gonna put that on the show notes for
I remember that.
our Enya episode.
That was the day that I met Dean, Paul Dean of the Shut Up and Sit Down.
because you had shut up and sit down shirt on.
I was wearing I'm wearing a Shut Up and Sit Down shirt in that video. Paul Dean showed up late to BGG. I saw him checking in. And of course, when I saw him, I had to, of course, point to my shirt and yell. And he was
Yeah.
very busy, and he smiled and gave me a thumbs up.
I think you're probably the only guy in there that had a shut up and sit down
And
shirt.
then I decided I have to go talk to him because this was several years ago. They
Yeah.
weren't as popular.
No.
And I went over and told them how much I loved. I told Paul how much I love Quinn. I told him, I love that man.
Sure, he appreciated that.
I love that man. I said, I've been watching y'all since y'all were on Vimeo. I said, I just thought y'all the greatest thing ever. I said, I'm like the American Quins. He didn't, I don't know if he took that as a threat.
I don't know why. I don't know.
But then he was very busy. He gave me another thumbs up on the left.
You introduced me to Shut Up and Sit Down. I didn't even know who. I've never heard
Shut
of
up
them.
and sit down.
I'd never heard of them. I was all Dice Tower.
Well, yeah.
And then you tell me about Shut Up and Sit Down?
You were all
I
mainstream.
was super mainstream.
I was all
as much as mainstream board gaming gets.
I was all hipster. I was like, so you're watching YouTube, but aren't you on Vimeo watching this British?
Who watches Viva?
I was watching Vimeo. I was watching the British Shut Up and Sit Down, man. Those are my guys. And now they've sold out. They're like super big. They're like going to be bigger than
What do you
Dice
consider selling out?
Tower. When you start, well, they're not taking sponsors, but they have very professional videos. And they are not recording in their mom's basement or in their
So they're
wife's-
successful. So that means they've sold out.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah. If you're not living out of a van,
No, sold out means you're going against what you used to believe.
well, no, okay, well, no. Sit up and sit down. Has
They've
not sold
just
out.
become successful.
Yeah, they're
And I would say
successful.
the same for Dice Tower.
No. Who? Who are you talking about?
Okay. Proceeding on. Viral.
You're just mad because I'm making fun of Tom.
Dice Tower Essentials.
I liked it.
And so far, we have liked every Dice Tower Essentials game.
sent you. I have hated every game
Royals.
Tom likes. Though.
Royals.
Royals.
Onitama.
Onitama.
He's got some others that I kind of can't remember.
Was that game that's basically Liar's Dice? Was it Dice Tower Essential?
Oh, yes.
Me and Enrique played it and we loved it. Spoils of War.
Spoils of War.
Also, the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Sheriff of Nottingham.
I enjoy it.
Good games.
It's not bad.
Quality Productions.
Viral was good enough.
And they're all like it that they're not heavy, but they're not super light. And they're just good, solid games to me.
Viral has this picture of the body, and it's the innards of the innards. I sound like I'm an old farmer. My innards are hurting. I got the arthralgia.
My energy.
And you have these virus cards, and you're playing, and you're moving your viruses around the body. It's just very interesting because you're basically trying to infect certain parts of the body with your virus and run other people out, and you get victory
Is it like
points.
Royals?
It's very much like Royals. It is a more random, less strategic Royals.
Really?
Yes, but it had this neat deck building, which I don't like. But you're picking up cards and adding new cards, purchasing cards to your hand, and you have to think, I'm going to do this and run this guy out of this the spleen, and then I'm going to go for the colon.
Going. Nobody's ever said, I'm going for the colon.
And the next thing,
How do you get there?
like Enrique couldn't figure out. Like we look at the board and it goes, so there's two parts of the heart. Are there two hearts? And I said, no, Enrique, there's four chambers of the heart. But in this, they just depict it as just this side and this side. Oh.
Interesting.
And I could tell that he's staring at parts of the body and going,
He did.
well, why does he have two kidneys? I was like, because you have two kidneys. You don't have two kidneys, but
Enrique.
there's
one
two
kidney.
kidneys.
Oh, Enrique.
He actually has two kidneys that are merged together.
Who does?
Either Enrique or the board of Viral. I can't
don't know
remember.
what you're talking
One of them does. But anyways, that's Viral, and I enjoyed it. And I thought Viral was decent enough, but it just didn't blow me away enough to get to my games that blew me away.
So,
But I would look into it. Of all the games here that I would, if I had to suggest,
did Bubba like Viral?
he played it and seemed like he enjoyed it, but he kind of was, he was like, okay.
Did he like Lignum?
He's same thing. He's wishy-washy. Out of these games that we talked about, Kitchen Rush, if you're into real-time games, Kitchen Rush.
Yes.
Viral, out of all the games I mentioned, was probably the one that I enjoyed the most. Heaven and Hell, no. Altiplano, someone's going to talk me out of it. Lignum and Snowdonia, I need more time with it. Coldwater Crown, I just didn't. It's like a dead fish. I can't make a joke about it. It's fishing.
I'm fishing with Jules. I'm out.
Jewel fishing?
You can save my soul.
No.
Jewel.
Anyway. Wow.
Let me look up Jewel.
Whatever happened to her?
Wasn't she on X Factor there real quick? And then disappeared? I used to think she was so pretty.
She married somebody, didn't she?
Not that I don't think she's pretty now. But
her and Kid Rock did a song, didn't they?
I don't know. Wow. Like her top song is You Were Meant for Me on Apple. Oh, Jewel, where have you gone? Wow, that really brought... I forgot all about Jewel.
Well, that's sad.
That's sad.
Okay, right now,
You Were Meant for Me.
I need you to do me something.
We'll save your
I
soul.
need you to do me a favor.
Foolish games.
Give me your phone. Give me your phone. I'm not listening.
I'm fixing to play it.
No. So
give it.
That's.
We'll have 5 entities suing us at once.
Inya's people are vicious. Okay, I'll just tell you right now. Inya has some serious fans, and so those are the games that made me go, next podcast will be about what we played for, I believe, our last game day, which was the 4th of July when we had a day off. And this is going to be like a month late. But that's okay.
We played Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
With
the expansion.
Yes.
Which
the 4-player expansion.
4 players. And then we played... what we'll talk about on the next podcast. I really don't want to go over...
But real quick, this is small, so it's not really worthy of a podcast. I played Visit from the Rhine Valley for Viticulture.
Visit from the Rhine Valley?
It's an alternative set of visitor cards from Viticulture.
And?
I really can't tell the difference.
You can't tell that the Rhine Valley is different?
Not really.
You don't? I haven't played it.
It's supposed to replace victory point heavy cards for more cards that help you in producing your wine. I can see that, but I could really play with either one. It doesn't really matter. I went, on my BGG app, my BGG stats, I set up one for Viticulture. I played 10 games of Viticulture solo.
By yourself?
All by myself.
Solo culture?
Yes. And lost all of them horribly. I'm not good.
It's because you didn't have Chewy.
I did the aggressive variant where like every round I'm supposed to be so round 1 I have to have scored at least 1 point. Round 2
aggressive variant.
Round 2 I'm supposed to have scored.
Grapes are angry.
Grapes of Wrath.
Grapes of Wrath. Oh, that's a great show. Dust Bowl. That happened here
in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
we're in Texas.
Well,
son.
I'm from Oklahoma.
Just barely.
And the Dust Bowl is still
hurts
happening.
Still happening.
Still happening.
It's happening.
It's still happening. It's happening now. We just don't talk about it.
It's called a drought.
It's called the drought.
I play the aggressive variant where like every round you're supposed to have you have to beat 1 point. You have to beat 6 points. You have to beat. What are you laughing at?
The Grapes of Wrath. That was the greatest. I'm sorry. I gotta laugh about that for a minute. That's the greatest. We're gonna make a board game that's called the Grapes of Wrath, and it just
Viticulture aggressive variant.
Bunch of really mad grapes.
John Steinbeck's Viticulture.
Oh, all right. Go ahead.
Anyway, back to the Grapes of Wrath. You have to beat 1 point on round 1, year 1.
Yes.
6 points, year 2. You have to be at 12 points, year 3, something similar. is very difficult if you go past the easy stage. You go normal, I never beat normal. I think I got up to the last year once out of 10 games. Usually in the third year, I lost. I didn't see a difference between that and Visit from the Rhine Valley when I substituted out the cards. I saw no difference in my scoring. So I know you can do a scoring in solo where you just have it like at the 30, I think. No, I don't know. They changed it from the Tuscany from the original. I think the original was 20, now it's 25. Mm-hmm. But if you were to do the normal and the aggressive variant, you're supposed to have it. It's like at 28 at the end of it. So you should be at 29. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So I thought about just setting my thing at 29 and saying, okay, I need to be at 29 points at the end of year 7. Viticulture. I like Viticulture solo. I like the Automa.
It's good.
I enjoy it.
It's good.
The aggressive variant, the Grapes of Wrath, it's tough.
Have you tried the What's Eating Gilbert Grape expansion?
No, I have not. I've never actually seen that movie.
That's with Leo.
I know what it is.
And Johnny Depp. Oh, okay.
Anything else grape related you want to get out?
No, I can't think of anything right now. I'm like wrapping my mind.
Oh, something else. Another small game. I bought one of the newer unlock boxes.
Again? Why do you keep buying those things?
Noside Story. I got it. This was a one lock.
Quit.
It's supposed to be the easiest.
Why do you keep buying?
Because I think I enjoy them.
You don't enjoy them.
It made me angry.
You always give them to me.
I got to one point where this one instructed me. This is unlock Secret Adventures, a Noside Story. It's the clown again.
The clown, yeah.
I made it. I was cruising along, doing fairly good. It gets to this one point. I'm not going to say for whoever, whatever. It has you destroy a card.
Destroy it?
You're supposed to cut it.
Don't cut it.
But when you cut it, you're supposed to receive a code.
Wow.
I didn't get that when I did that.
You cut it and
I did it and it didn't. I did not register in my brain what I was supposed to be looking at. So one of the codes I was supposed to get, I never got. I could not comprehend at all what this thing was wanting of me. And I studied that stupid room for so long and got so angry, I just gave up. I was done. I made it probably 15 minutes in. And I was done with Unlock and Noside Story.
You're not exactly the person that's going to be,
We've done one escape room in which my job I took upon myself was shouting the countdown.
You encourage.
We got 30 minutes left.
You were encouraging everybody. You're doing great, man.
You're doing good, guys. Keep it up.
Oh.
So the unlock games, the exit games, they're not for me.
I enjoyed the exit games.
I want to think I enjoy them. If that makes any sense. I like the idea. I love the idea. But they never work out for me. I'm terrible at them.
Well, we'll just know if we ever lock you in a room, you'll never get out.
I will never get out.
Well, that's going to be all for us. We certainly do appreciate us. Appreciate us. And
thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Gabby.
I think that we're probably the best podcast that you could be listening to on a Thursday.
Sure, why not?
I don't know of any others since the...
Do not listen unless it's a Thursday.
Yeah, Secret Cabal comes out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We're the Thursday crew.
Dice Tower's Tuesday.
Yeah.
We coming on Thursdays.
Yeah. Shut Up, Sit Down comes on like Saturday evening, Sunday evenings.
Yeah. Blue Peg, Pink Peg is Mondays.
We're literally the best podcast on Thursday.
We might be.
It's like those television shows that come out on Thursday night. You remember like Thursday night used to be Diagnosis Murder, where you got to watch Dick Van Dyke solve murders.
I never watched that.
That was like in the 90s. You don't remember Diagnosis Murder?
Yes, I remember.
Dick Van Dyke and his son Jerry.
Dick Van Dyke when he was very old.
He's very old. He's supposed to be a doctor, and him and his son, they'd solve Diagnosis Murder.
Okay, what about it?
It come on Thursdays.
Oh, okay.
And it was a mediocre show, but people still watched
Friends.
it. Friends was not a mediocre show.
No, but it come out on Thursdays.
Well, yeah.
So did ER.
Oh, I didn't really watch ER. I watched Chicago Hope
We're in it. Oh,
because I
boo.
love Mandy Patinkin.
No, you gotta go.
You killed my father.
You gotta
You
go.
killed my father.
ER.
No.
Yes,
No.
it had goose in it.
A goose? No. I like to
How
think
do
that
you
Goose
not like
ejected,
Goose?
survived, and became a doctor. Said, miss me with all this fighter pilot stuff. Top
Chicago
Gun 2,
Hope.
2019. I'll see you there. Please stay alive, Val Kilmer.
What
You gotta
about
shoot
Indiana
that show.
Jones 2021? Oh, Harrison.
Just like
please live that long.
Just like Indiana Jones, we are done. Thank you for
Okay.
listening.
All right, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you for listening to the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.